What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream where we're back in our gas course project, a game built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5 C++ blueprints and the gameplay ability system plugin. So today, we're going to continue working on our damage pipeline debug. Yesterday, I did a bunch of work off stream, sorry, but we're going to finish it up hopefully today and maybe over the weekend. So just to give you a little bit of a taste of what we did. We have this ImGui Debug for the damage pipeline, and we're able to choose upon our player, and then we have options for damage or healing. And yesterday I only did the healing part, so we're gonna have to do the damage part today. But in addition to that, when we do receive a healing event, there is a button that comes up that says simulate. It says damage, but we want it to say simulate healing in the cases of healing. And that doesn't really do anything, at least not that I know of. So, like, for example, if I try to simulate, like, one of these healings, like, we don't really see anything. So I would like to get that to work, honestly. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's go jump into our code. We have our damage number panel. And, the first thing I want to do is... not damage number, sorry. We need to be in our... Oh, okay, yeah, that's why it doesn't do anything, because there's nothing there. The code is commented out. So, big oof, we're going to do that. It's going to be easy. Hopefully, quote unquote. Let's see if we can get that to work. So the commented code we have here is for the hit result, right? Because we also have a separate debug for the hits, which maybe we need to combine them into the same thing, but... for now, we'll just deal with it, not a big deal. So we can get out of our traces. We want to be in our... we need to be in our actual debugging panels. So there should be debugging panels and then our damage events. So I have a bunch of code written in here for the ImGui here. So we gotta find it where we're doing the button. So the last thing is the button, and there is this text string. So we should be able to replace it with what we were doing earlier, where we have like a prefix that I created. I just gotta find an example of it. Here it is. So I created a prefix based on the category to just update the text that's displayed. So we could just say simulate, and then, this, and then we just do this, and that should be okay. Famous last words, I guess. So simulate. Do I not need to do that? No, I do. What's wrong? Okay, do I not need... Can I just do that? No. So, oh, okay. I think I just need to, it's being an F string, and what is this? It is an F string, right? So I should be able to just kind of inject that in. Interesting that I can't just do a string like that. And it doesn't want me to do something like that, right? Oh, it does. Okay. Problem solved. But it should say what we want it to say. But now the actual simulate damage from ID doesn't really do anything. But that's, like, why would it, right? It's commented out. Let's dive deeper. So yeah. We can kind of one for one just replace these lines here. We want to do F. Is it just damage log entry? Damage log entry equals get damage log entry from... no, get damage entry for actor ID. No, that's not what I want. So I want the equivalent to this, which I don't believe I have. So let's create it for the damage log. I guess this is like kind of one of the weaknesses of this kind of setup right now, because I'm separating hits and damage events. Maybe they should be the same. I don't know. Might be annoying to switch between the two of them. Maybe it's redundant data. Maybe I just need to also provide the hit result for these hits inside of the normal damage thing and just refactor it out. Maybe a good idea, because you don't really need to know anything unique with the hit result. What on hit gives you the same information, more or less, right? The context that is simply hit target. Yeah, I think that's all kind of redundant, so I'm gonna have to refactor that out, I think. Or am I just making up excuses just to do something else that's not the game? I don't know. To be determined later. Existential crisis on its way. So we'll do get damage log entry by damage ID. And this is going to be a F damage log entry. Generate that code. Bam. So get damage D and hit ID. I want to change that name to damage ID. That's for fun. And so now we can kind of copy this. Change the appropriate variables. Damage log entry, bam, and then damage log entries. And then say entry dot damage ID equals in. Should change that input parameter name as well. So in damage ID. Entry. Okay, so now we should pass that. And then we say if, like that, yes. And then we say, do we have to make a damage log context? Yeah. So there's get actor from ID, which is valid. It seems to be a universal. So what do we have to fix? So damage context, we move to inner scope. We'll figure that out later. So damage context dot. Okay, so there's not much in the damage context. There's F damage modification context. I think I need to do this one. So let's switch the variable over. Any resources you found helpful to learn subsystems? Not really. Like, I've had to like just Google shit. I've had to just try things out. I've had to chat GPT half the time, you know, just trying to figure it out. So nothing that I know of that it's like explicitly for subsystems. You just gotta get your hands dirty, I guess. It's Alice. All the streams I want to watch are happening at the same time. Who else are you watching besides me, man? I am offended. So let's see. We got the first one, so we got instigator. If we do the target ID, right? So hit target. target ID, and then we do the tags, right? Oh, grubbing in a Path of Exile 2 stream. I get it. I understand. Yes, so we're doing that. So that's the first part. So let's nuke that. Then we do the instigator. If got actor ID, instigator, should be good. Now what? We do that. We don't really have an optional object at the moment. They do hit results and timestamps. Context tags. So we don't have a hit result here. But we do have a timestamp, I think, right? Damage context dot time. Don't really have a timestamp. Okay, I'll have to figure that out later. So I guess then it's damage context dot. Oh, I should have hit context then timestamp. That. Don't need that. Then damage context dot hit context dot context tags. That. Then damage context dot. Because like I have to construct like a hit, right? Or sorry, damage modification. So I need to grab this. I need to call. Well, it also depends if it's a healing event or not. Hey, thanks for the follow, McFly! You may not know it now, but you are, I believe, the 800th follower. So thank you very much. You don't get anything special, you just get a thank you. But it's much appreciated, so thanks to all 800 of you folks. Yeah, so now we need to send, instead of sending a hit request, we have to say, send, where is it? Apply damage to target. So I have to construct this. So we need actors. So we could, brute force this. Just say so that's it. Hit actor and then instigator. Yeah. And then it's the damage, which we need to say is damage log entry dot. It should be base damage value, right? We want to send the base damage value again so that it will run through the pipeline in a very similar way. And then damage context. Okay, so that's not liking that. Why? I'm not convert L to FDam. I have to make a damage pipeline context. So F damage pipeline context, pipeline context, and then damage pipeline context dot damage type equals should be in that. Have anything? Damage effect. I guess I have to find it in the hit context text container. for for f gameplay tag if tag dot match in terms of the tag match is coming out parent. Then I want to do type. And then I guess I could say damage pipeline context dot dash type equals tag, and then break. Just don't need to do that anymore, but then I need to do what? Damage type that granted tags equals damage log entry dot hit context tag container. And then I pass along damage context. Maybe? There's only one real way of finding out. There's just some redundant structs that I'm using. Because I do get a hit context here, which I think is good, and I think that's important. And then the hit context gives me a lot of information. And there's all this stuff, which I think I need, but like F damage pipeline context. That seems... maybe, well, I guess, yeah, when it's like overtime effect tuning. So I'll also have to make sure I check to see if it's a overtime effect and get information there. Because I don't know how I'm going to pull that data. Unfortunately, I'll have to like also store that. So the struct might get pretty big. Unless in this F damage modification context I can get a reference to like the handle, or maybe I should just get the info I need. So like these three things. We'd have to really figure that out. So let's look here. So I have this. So final damage value, incoming value. I should have to say final modification value. Instead of damage, just because that's misleading. But I do get everything the same. And so I am getting damage though. But let's... got healed for 30. Now I'm going to run away so I don't get hit by another one. So I'm good. So this is I'll have to hit myself a few times, but now I'm at 60. If I simulate this, I should get 30 plus 30 health. If I get 50 damage, because I'm doing apply damage to target. Okay, that's why. Okay, things are checking out so far. I'm just stupid. So what we'll want to do to say, if damage log entry dot, and then B is damage effect. Then we do this. Else, I guess it's redundant else, right? Return pipeline by field or target. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh, fingers crossed, gang. Exciting stuff inbound. Alright, so let's try that again. Dealt that healing and damage to myself. Simulate healing. Seems to have worked. Because if I simulated it enough times, I should gain 1 health. Yeah, and now I'm doing that. Yep. So I'm getting a lot of health. I also need to make sure I add some max number of entries. Let me just deal damage to myself. Let me get healed. I'll have 13 health. I should get healed by 50. I'm running away. Now let's find that last health modification. This one was 50. Let's buy the dummy. I simulate. I got full health again. Awesome. So that works as I'd hoped. So now we need to actually handle the damage side of it. So we have to construct it in a very similar way. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it starts in the damage pipeline. I don't think I'm doing anything there explicitly, but just so I can mental map my way back to where it needs to be. So there's the damage pipeline subsystem. So, you know, originally we do apply heal to target, and it goes to apply heal to target internal. Creates the spec handle, has the spec handle, does all that stuff, does the grant attacks and things like that. So I think it starts in the execution class. So let's take a gander at the healing execution. So we go from here, and then we get, instantiate this log entry. So I should be able to do the same thing for the damage execution. Step 0. So we're going to go from here, paste, because it's going to be very identical. So spec handle, boom, 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 source, things, append tags, spec dot, is the spec handle different? So it is a const spec here. So that means I just need to do it this way. And then we start adding information about the healings and stuff like that. Because we do the base value. So from here, we say damage. Then eventually we do this adding of our attributes as we know things will be modified. So if it's damage over time, we cache the value, blah, 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 cache damage, blah, 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 use blah, blah, blah. So float, critical chance, blah, blah, blah. So if we get a critical hit, I think this is where we need to add both the critical chance and the critical damage value. And also where we say gas course context dot equals true, right? Critical hit equals true. And so now we gotta do what? So we try to capture, so there's not healing statics, but damage statics. Dot critical chance property, and then damage statics dot critical damage multiplier property. And then we grab what? Critical chance and critical damage multiplier. Now, if damage is greater than 0, set the outgoing damage thing, cash damage, fine. And then here, yeah, this is where I would have to do the whole life steal mechanic thing, because I just want to label if my healing factor is a life steal or not. Let's just ban this guy, spam in the chat. He's good. I'll probably put it to 2 here. Steal labeling. Okay. Now, yeah, there's nothing else going on for damage. There's no like resistances or anything like that. I do want to just go to do. Me. Should be okay. And then yeah, so that should be so what we gotta say is we have the base damage value, and then from here let's say well, I guess it's to say, yeah, modified damage value will be at the very bottom, I think. Just down here. Well, I guess, no, it's the place where I actually do it. So I think this was correct, right? I think here should be fine. Is your damage system fully covered by gas, or there are some extra subsystems built on top of that? So it's independent of gas in some ways, but it's kind of not actually. Like it's because I still use gameplay effects and I use instant and duration based effects to actually do the damage modification, do the execution classes, and change attributes and stuff like that. So it is well integrated by gas. I don't know what I was talking about. So yeah, you can use attributes, modify, get the incoming damage or incoming healing, and modify it, apply it to the target, and then the damage pipeline will handle it. It'll have its own statics, and it handles everything internally, and then it does the logging for us, and then it just spits it back out. So now the last sets of things I need to do is actually back in the health attribute set. Because here, this is where I'm putting a lot of information again. And this is for incoming healing. So I have to do something very, 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 very similar. I'm going to grab this, and I think up until that. And I just got to grab, or just do the same thing here, I hope. So we got local damage, and we set the health value, so I think I should be able to go here. So yeah, we get everything the same. This could probably be done in a more elegant way. I don't know yet. Let's just make it work first. So there's true health delta, which, what do I do there? Because yeah, it's like what you really did. So new health delta. It's more or less like that, right? We log it, everything. I already kind of says if it's a critical hit or not. I guess that's redundant information then. I don't need to say it here. Just pass along the attributes. Is damage effect true? Is damage over time? But in theory, that should work. Oh, is it Pillars of Eternity too, or Path of Exile? my mind, when people write PoE, I think Path of Exile. Okay. Now, our ImGui should look decent. It should hopefully work. So I dealt damage to myself. Okay, so damage defense missing pop style var. Since when? Okay, but let's see, a final damage value is wrong. Fine. Yeah, it's simulating damage. You see, I'm getting the 10. But yeah, it's not logging consecutive stuff. So okay, so it says damage pipeline damage events. Missing pop style var. Let's find that. So it's got to be in our ImGui stuff. So here's our panel, damage events. Is in our damage events. Push style var. I just have to say pop. I don't know. This one's gonna be tricky. Let's see. Calling now. Now I'm calling it too many times. Pick a lane. What the fuck? Let's see. Yeah, today was a good day at work, I think. We had a pretty big review of some stuff, and I think it went well. You know, we cleared some issues up with some other team members. It was a good day, I think. Well, let's hope we keep the vibes going. My girlfriend's coming back tomorrow from her trip. I'm excited to see her. So your boy is in a good mood. So what happens when... So let's put this to healing. And then I do this. We're okay. But then when I change it to damage, it's okay. But when I get damaged, is it the same thing for healing? Yes. So I'm missing a on a damage event. So something is missing it. Okay. So push style or push style. So that's 1, 2, pop, 1, 2. So the options is fine. It's just when I do the other one, right? Because options is 1. So we do that table. Modification type. This pop. Push. Do it like here. I still did not get why ImGui when we have draw debugs. I mean, what do you mean by draw debugs? Are you just talking about debug shapes, or are you talking about like in world? So still wrong. How is it? So as soon as I start drawing, I also have to do it here. Push text wrapping. Yeah, because there's a push style bar, so maybe, yeah, maybe that's where I'm doing it wrong. So I think the beauty of ImGui for at least debugs this stuff is just it can handle a lot more options. Yeah, but there's more stuff to do than just drawing shapes, you know. And if you want to draw text, like there's a lot of information that you would need to kind of draw out. Like, how would I draw all this relevant information using debug shapes, you know, and like debug text on screen? If I want to know like the tags that were involved, the attributes that were involved, the calculations before and after the modification or the attribute modifications, hit result data can be drawn with shapes and things like that. And that's something I want to introduce with the hit aspect of it, because I am having a separate ImGui debug for hits. So it would be good to be able to draw the debug shape if you wanted to. So I'll definitely add that. And I think that's relevant when it comes to like actual hits to draw the shape where it was hit, but you know. Okay, so in window, then debug default. I am just sucking ass. Not here. If I push style var, cell padding. Second column. Do that. I feel like I'm going crazy. Oh, missing bar. So damage pipeline, damage events, missing pop style bar. But need to have style bar there too. I say there's other methods you could do too outside of ImGui. You could make, editor UMG widgets and stuff like that that can also do the same thing. I guess it's like, dealer's choice. Okay. There. I have to do it at the very, 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 very end. So now we're calling it too many times. Does this get moved here? Let's see. Now we're just, shooting in the dark to see if it's going to work. Okay. Oh no. Now it's not drawing any consecutive lines. So the only thing I really changed was the button, right? I don't think I have to do it here. I think we're gonna just tell it. It's gonna be like you're calling it too many times. Times. Okay. We got it. But now it's not. Now we're not getting consecutive events. Oh, no, we're getting another missing stuff. Oh my god. Where am I going wrong? By the way, gas stream is live. Nice. I'll need to watch it later. Now I kind of busted my whole ImGui Debug thing. God damn. Your boy screwed the pooch. Let's see. Let's see. Style bar. ¿Por qué? Not there. It doesn't need to be there. Does it need to be here? Oh. I shit my pants. Missing. Oh, do this. We have first table, which is 2 columns, font selection, and everything like that. And this pushes this style here, right? So then at the end of this table, we pop the style there. And then we check, hey, is it valid? If it is, we then push another style. And then we just gotta find only one instance of pop, right? The pop text wrap is fine. Yeah, we got debug the debugger at this point. There's only 2 of those, and then there's only 2 push styles, right? Am I crazy? I'm assuming this didn't do shit, right? It would be nice to like be able to catch these things a little easier. It's like, no, it's not drawing them, right? Yeah, maybe there is. Could be lazy and just copy. Let's see if what ChatGPT gave me works. And then we'll try to dig in. I don't want to take the easy way out, but you know, it is what it is sometimes. Because if this works, then yeah, we can do like a Control Z, get the broken implementation, and just look at it line by line. so. I believe this is going to be broken. Let's just be sure. And then I'll just have to look at this line by line. Let's copy the code. Put it into this. And kind of look at it line by line. Just be sure. Should break. Yeah. So, yeah, return open. And yeah. These lines, and then the whole table definition, and the table setup. Table next column. The combo. Yeah, they have. Okay, so I'm missing this. Right? No, it's up here. We're at the table. We do all the table stuff. We get the end combo. And then table next column. Enum is string. Blah, blah, blah. We do all that. We get all the information. We eventually get the end combo. Okay, so this is the problem. This pop here. Maybe. Writer's get diff should be more convenient. I'm not familiar with the. I know how to do a diff in Perforce, but not within Writer. So, immediately wrong. Your boy is dumb. Yeah, it's actually right there. But it's after this. Get full fetch merge branches new tag. Is there a way to? I'm not sure what the diff option is. So we're still wrong. This is fun. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Let's just do it the dumb way for the sake of being dumb. So we pop star. Yeah. Then we do is valid. Blah blah. Then we do a bunch of table stuff, damage entry stuff, f string, next column. Next column. Is this like at the very bottom? There's pop style. So there's this one goes into end table. I'm not really missing. So the F is written in that. And we got the end table, and then we got the pop style. It feels like, yeah, no. Man, Why am I so stupid? I don't know. It's just not clicking at the moment. So we push style var. We eventually pop style var. Then we push style var. We do all that. And then there's this whole for loop we're doing for each thing. Add into the column. Like, is it just not a matter of like that? I don't think it is, but I don't see much of a difference. Like pop style. One, two, one, two, two. Calling too many times. Okay. So yeah, we end the table, pop style. How does it feel watching a man struggle? It's like, as soon as it tries the loop, but like this is literally, so we do this, so for in here. So like from here, so it's like the end table also in the wrong place. Because yeah, where do we make the table? So let's just climb this up. I think this is also wrong. But fuck it. Like, it could be like also here. Maybe this is the problem. So it does continue. Well, let's just double check. I'm still missing stuff. Okay, but let's just see if this works now. Okay. That was the problem. Okay. There's a cool trick with search Control F and regex mode dot asterisk icon right at the search bar, so you can search for both pop and push with the prompt ImGui bar. That is cool. My knowledge on writer and just like general debugging and code is pretty shit. But we managed to fix that, so we're cool. So let's look at all the damage events. So I should hit him, and I get that, right? Now, in theory, if I simulate the damage, yeah, we're getting 3s. Right? I could just simulate the damage for as long as I want and kill him. And he's dead. It's more or less the functionality that I want. So now we have damage and healing. Now my issue right now is that I have a separate ImGui for hit events, and I don't know if I should separate that because there's so much common information that maybe I should just include like hit result information in like the damage event, you know? And not explicitly have a separate debugger for it. So I wonder if I can easily add that, you know? And then if I can, I should be able to get rid of all this extra crap about, you know, the hit log history and shit like that. So let's see how far we can take that. So let's start from scratch. Well, not scratch, but so we have hits panel, but we also have the debug system. And so in this, we have the damage log history, which is what we want. And we also have a hit result in there. So we already kind of have that. So we should be able to just draw it. I think we just need to also, because I don't know exactly how to get it from the hit. So let's see. Let's start with healing again. So, should be in our damage pipeline. So there's a heal, target, internal, and we have a spec, right? And this spec should eventually get us into the execution class. And this is where we do a bunch of the initial stuff. So I think I can just say gas course context, damage log entry, dot hit result equals I get context handle dot get hit result. Maybe that's all I really have to do, and then in my I'll have to do the same as well in the damage execution. Oh, part. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. So assuming it's that simple, let's go back into the panel. The lifetime of the hit result should be indefinite. I don't think it gets garbage collected. Well, I don't know if I mean garbage collected, but you know, I don't think it gets invalidated. Because if we look in the debug system, like the hit result is just here, and I think the hit result should be back. We'll find out, I guess. Let's go to damage events. We're gonna have to make a new column. Usually it's a local variable you declare right before calling a trace, unless it's a class member var. So hit result in this case is I do construct it when I apply damage, apply a hit, and I pass it along through a spec. So it should be okay. Hit result, change this to 6. And now in my hit result, or hit panel, I do set some information on it based on that, right? So I should be able to do this, just clean it up a bit. So let's go to the fifth one. So let's go right before the button. Something like that. Say hit result. I don't want it to be when it's hovered. I can just do this. I can say then ImGui that color text colored. No. I want it to be white, but so that we'll leave it white for now. Let's see if we actually get that to work. Then maybe I can add a button or a checkbox that says visualize hit result. And then we can draw, and then we can go back to the point from earlier. We can draw the debug shape around where the hit was. I don't know if we want to, I guess we could technically draw some pertinent data about the hit result in the world too at that point. Yeah, one thing at a time. Then, yeah, I need to clean up all this stuff. And then I can rest. And then we gotta really start focusing on the card aspect of the game. So we did some hella optimizations, doing the debugging for the damage pipeline. We should be in hopefully a good spot. So let's see. Healing. I'm gonna do this. Okay. So maybe that was your point. It's trash. Well, there's contacts that don't get hit results. So there we go. So but if I do just this or this, like, what's the problem here? Like, can this damage log entry be a const? Is that how I did it for the actual hit log entry? No. So how do I capture? Because I got the hit result log entry correct there, but maybe it's because I got it at a different spot. Let's see if this makes a difference. But I think maybe in my damage pipeline system, there is the it's not on hit, is it? Or is it just so if I just do hit, it's gonna be too much information. Let's go into the header. Fine. This is all the healing stuff. Okay, so my damage struct could be like an on hit event. Oh, okay. Let's try that again. It's valid internal broadcast, and then we do log hit event, and then we get all the way here, and we get the hit results. So I think that's maybe why it was fine. Maybe. Let's see. still another crash. That's still no bueno. Yeah, because hit event stuff does it well. Blah, blah, blah. So we do log hit event, we get the hit context. Damage log entry. I don't think this is really a thing. Like that should be fine like that. But then the problem comes up here. So like maybe this is too late. In our subsystem, we have an on-hit event. And then we eventually get to like heal, right? So heal, give me the internal. So apply damage to target, and we get the context in the spec handle, and apply heal to target, internal. Maybe here I would just say like healing spec that, you know, context. And basically what I do in yeah. Yep. Reset, I'm doing like mutable context, right? And I say I do that. I think I say like mutable context dot damage log entry dot hit result. Me? I don't know. So it could be the fact that I was just doing it in a damage execution. Let's fuck around and let's find out. B hit is. Do you think I should add like a check for B hit is true? I guess, just so I don't give it dirtiness. I would hope in most cases hit would be true, but yeah, maybe that's a good point. Moment of truth. Just gotta hit myself. Okay. So we managed to get it, and it makes sense because when I deal damage to myself, and heal myself, I don't really have a valid, hit result. But let's see if I hit you, and I go to damage. It's still not valid. Well, I think it's because I'm not passing it for damage, right? So I should be able to do something very similar and the apply damage here. To do damage spec. I guess I could also verify when. What? That hit result? What's wrong here? What am I doing wrong? So, the context. My bad. Damage context. Result. Okay. Result. Let's see if that did the trick. And yeah, again, we should check if it is true. Let's actually get hit by a healing thing. This should give us a valid hit result. We didn't get anything. Oh yeah, because I didn't heal, right? Let me do it again. So here's this. Yeah, still nothing. Does the damage work? So I'm gonna hit him. Well, there's the hit result valid. Let me get check. So hit result is valid. But isn't this valid though? That seems valid, right? Let's assume not. Maybe this doesn't need a hit result. I'm curious. Social media posts as well. Let's try again. So Ollie will hit you, and then we will check the GUI damage, and then still seemingly empty. I'm not sure. Because again, the hit event works. On hit, like we get the hit context here. And then let's go to the melee attack. Actually, maybe it's in blueprints. We go melee. The A melee base. This is where we send the hit. This is where we actually apply the damage. And there it is. Okay, so we're not passing in the hit result here. So it's a valid point that was said. We want to, this is the debug version, so let's go to where our normal one is. So we'll do apply damage first. So internal. We go all the way here. Then, yeah, we need to. I guess in theory this should be fine, but we will do. So if this on its own is not a thing, right? See if that's enough. Every time I look at your code, I scratch my head. That's unfortunate. It's just for my brain to understand and process. Why a custom subsystem? One, for learning purposes, and two, I want to have like a simple. Well, that's not simple at this point, but I want like a one place where I can handle all my damage and healing related stuff. Why not a subsystem? I guess is the argument. Why would I want to make a component where I need to, attach a damage component onto a bunch of actors for no reason? I think a subsystem is a better thing. I have a complex code syndrome. Maybe. I'm learning, so we'll see what it is. But to me, it doesn't make sense for it to be anything else but a subsystem. What would your approach be? In your hands, a hollow world, one-line code becomes 100 lines. I guess. I don't know where this roasting is coming from, man. What the fuck did I do to you? So let's see. We're back at square one. So there is a hit result that is valid. Comes from this, right? It's just an observation, I guess. Yeah. But it is valid. So it's as a const hit result. Let's say Not a thing. And maybe that part's not necessary. Let's see if we are able to get it. Well, I hope to get better with these things, of course, but I like the system that I have. You know, it could be improved, I'm sure. But I think a subsystem is a good approach here. You know, having damage and healing events, being able to have callbacks I can register and code into Blueprint, having damage and healing logging so I can debug it when the time comes, and using gas to kind of interpret the information, modify it with attributes and all that stuff. So I think it works well. I'm struggling at the moment, of course. It probably could be improved readability wise. Maybe there's some redundant code. Maybe things that could be architected a little bit better. But if it works, it works. Let's see if we still crash. Don't crash, but still not valid hit result information. Even though I'm passing it. Right? I think that ability updated, right? Let's just see if the hit context gives me what I want. Print out context, hit result. Yeah, I'm getting some valid data from the hit result. Got the impact normal. But then we do apply damage to target handle, which is in our statics. Target, not here. Handle. So apply damage to target handle. So I'm just gonna go like that. Continue. Now we're here. So target handle. Damage context. Hit result. Still valid. So we go to apply damage to target handle. And then we get to here. Hopefully. So we don't get that line. Okay. Didn't put a breakpoint. Okay, and then damage context. Do we still have valid information? We do. Then we go apply damage to target. Go to here. Damage context. It result still seems valid. We go to here. Blah, 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 blah. Then we get to here. Still seems right. Is it because it's immutable context? Yeah, I can believe you're still working on particular locomotion. That seems to be a very difficult problem. Okay, so is it because... maybe it's because now I need to... damage spec... context? Have I ever done wall climbing? No. Luckily, no. I haven't done anything really complicated with locomotion. I know people at work that are doing some complicated locomotion stuff, but not really my place. I know there's some good stuff online. I guess it depends on how complicated you want to get, but there's some like there's probably paid plugins, but there's also tutorials about climbing. So let's hit this guy. So we got here. No crash, and now we're getting valid hit location data. Perfect. Okay. So and we should be ending the stream soon. I think what I want to do is just make sure that I'm doing the same thing in the healing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, good luck doing the multiplayer stuff, man. That's multiplayer stuff is so hard. So I should be able to grab this and just do the same again here. Take heal context. Heal spec. That should be okay. Well, let's see if we actually get a valid hit location. And then if we do, that's when I need to do the same thing I've been doing for the rest of these things. I need to do a wrapper. So that. Let's just hot reload one last time. Okay. So now, theory, I should see the hit that I just did. And yes, 000 makes sense. I think I need to, maybe I need to add a check here. So if it's not valid, don't bother writing all of this stuff. But yeah, what we just added was this, wrapper. So we can have it written there. So yeah, let's see now. Healing. I should see something. But yeah, healing's still giving me an empty hit result. Maybe I'll have to debug it further. We're just running out of time today. But we did get the damage to work. I think. Let me do that. And I should do it in reverse order so that the most recent one is on top. But yeah, we have a couple of improvements to make. But I just have to do a guess reverse order loop. Or, pop the newest one to index 0 when I'm adding these entries. Which I think is happening in the debug system, right? There's log event. Forgive my rudeness here, but is it in place and then in place at place at. Maybe that's gonna be enough. Adding it twice. Okay, final check before I go for bedtime. Well, not bedtime, but I'm gonna lay on the couch and rot for a few hours before I call it bedtime. Damage. Let's see. So deal damage to me, and then the next one. Yes, there you go. So the most recent one is on top. There's a lot of information on a hit result that don't matter. So maybe I would limit this a little bit, but I think for now it's okay. So I know there's a few more bugs to iron out. I'm going to give myself a to-do. I'll put it in my damage events. I hope I remember, but let's see. To-do. Move hit hit log entry plus hit log. We want to fix a bug with final damage calculation value. Damage logging. I know that's wrong. There is show hit result text hit location. I guess. Anything else? Oh yeah. And checkbox. Hello. That's that Christian Live. What's up? How's it going? Saying hello from Kick. I appreciate it. We want to add checkbox to draw hit result debug shape in. So I think that's gonna be a good enough stuff to work on next time. So that's where I'm gonna end it for today. Thank you everybody for watching, and today we hit 800 followers here on Twitch. So thank you all very much for everybody who follows. So thank you everyone, us all on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't already subscribed already. Anyone watching from Twitch, make sure to follow. Anyone watching from Kick, make sure to follow as well. And definitely join our Discord. Try to get a good community of people there. So feel free to join if that's your thing. We don't have many people watching from Twitch, so we're not going to raid anybody, so I'll just end it there. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you soon.